Hi everyone, it's Dip Metaverse back with another video. The reason why I'm making another video in quick succession is because one, I uncovered some stuff. Two, uh, you know, the markets weren't very friendly over the past couple of days. So, if I present your research, maybe you'll stay the course and still believe in Jasmy like I do. Everything that I say here is not financial advice. Please do your own research. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. And if you like my content, please give me a follow or hit the like button. It means a lot to me. I've been making videos for about a month. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. That's really exciting. I know that's not much, but this doesn't work without you. So please, hit subscribe, like the video, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is dipmetaverse, and let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to go into was Etherscan. So we finally hit 29,000 holders, and we gained a few holders today because I'm sure some buy orders were triggered and some people bought the dip. So the next thing I wanted to go over really quickly, I'm not going to go into this at length because I've showed you how my process through some other videos that I've made, and you can look at my most recent one, or you can look at the very first video that I made, where I go through Etherscan and I break down how I got the 30.8 billion that were in circulation, and how there were obviously, if there's 30.8 billion in circulation, there's 50 billion total coins. That leaves you with 19.2 billion coins that are not in circulation. And I made some periodic updates. So this is what I did for my YouTube video on 6/11. This is what I did today, and there were 200 million more tokens added between Saturday and now. So this number in gold and bold, is the current circulating supply. Okay, so we're close to 32.2 billion. And they had I forgot the name of the exchange, Bithumb. They had a trading contest there, so that probably is why, there was a pretty, that's why they released 1 billion tokens pretty fast, right? But at this point, we've already endured the pain of them releasing so many tokens that what's another billion tokens, right? But let's move on. And if you have questions about the spreadsheet, I'm happy to go over it with you. You can message me on Twitter. You can message me on Reddit. You can comment at the bottom of the video and so on. So I try to respond to everything. I'm not famous yet, or maybe I'll never be famous. So I'll always have time for you guys. But let's go on to the next thing. So this is, not this. Actually, yeah, this is what I want to go over. So Hara sent this tweet out on June 5th, showing that the Jasmy Global site is going to have, all of this data, right? It's showing transactions of 493,000, and then transactions per day at 579. And then all the stuff in this present category here is not updated yet. So I went to the website, and unfortunately the present category is still not updated, but this total transactions is, I can't highlight it. Oh, there we go. Is different now. The number changed, as did the transactions per day. So now if you understand math, right? We have transactions divided by the transactions per day. That will get you the number of days, right? So based on what Hara reported here, the number of days equated to 2 years and 1/3. So that would be 2 years and 4 months ago. So that would be saying that they started doing all of this in February 2020. However, now that these numbers change, and I really don't know what it means, but I thought, as Jasmy investors and as potential Jasmy investors, or people who are interested in doing research before making a purchase, the transactions per day changed. So now when you divide 498,000 by 374, it turns out that it is, I have to do the math. 498, actually, let's just do it. Divided by 374, sorry, I'm doing the math on my phone. So it turns out it's 1,333, but then you divide by 365 to get the number of number of years. So it actually turns out it's like 3 2/3 years ago. So 2/3 years ago is 8 months ago. 8 months ago would be like mid-October, and then subtract 3 years. So that would put you at October 2018, right? So they're calculating, unless if this is wrong, which unfortunately I can't put it past Jasmy to report a botched number. October 2018 is when they started tabulating all this information. And I know you might be thinking like, yeah, well, so what? Truth is, I don't know. I don't know what this exactly means, but at the end of the day, it's just numbers. I care about this stuff in the present category. Once they get that going, those are the numbers that really matter. And Hara did say that he's doing an AMA for like that was at a time when the US investors would be up. So maybe we'll find out more there. But he made that announcement I think a week or two ago, and we'll find out. And the way I see it, if the crypto market has been getting crushed and they still move forward with the metaverse, they still move forward with these AMAs, then I still feel comfortable investing in Jasmy. It's just gonna take a while. And to go back to what Kerr Finance, aka Jesse, aka Keeping It Real Finance, mentioned in his Cardano comparison video. Like Cardano was a limp fish for like 2.5 years, and then in 6 months it went from like I think 6 to 10 cents to like $2.15, right? So all of those gains are going to be realized in a very short period of time. So that's why for me, and it's not financial advice, that's why I just keep buying the dip, because I do trust this coin. If anything is going to outlast crypto to me out of the altcoins, this is one altcoin that's going to make it, because the government, I'm not going to say is behind it, but I think they do have their government's blessing. And their government is very, very serious about crypto, about digital assets, about NFTs, not necessarily only in the sense of like the, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like that stuff, like selling them as art pieces, but like using them for, because of their uniqueness to like verify contracts and stuff like that. That's where it's used in a business sense. So, they're serious about it. Because if not, their economy since the 80s has been like relatively uninteresting, I would say. Like the U.S. market in terms of like technology is very strong, and Japan wants to restore its former glory days. This is what they believe is the best way to do it. So enough of that. Now let's move on to the next thing. So again, this is piggybacking off of what Jesse did in his most recent video. Jesse, aka Keeping It Real Finance, aka Kerr Finance. He doesn't pay me to say his name or address him like that, but I figure there's so many variations of what he's referred to, so I just want to make it clear. But in a previous Reddit post, or comment, maybe a week or two ago, somebody was telling me that Jasmy's not going into China. I disagree wholeheartedly, and he was just thinking like, oh, there's no political, the political tension there is strong, and it's like, yeah, I mean, there are people that also hate the U.S. They do business with the U.S., right? Americans are among some of the most hated people in the world, and yet people still do business with them. There's still a McDonald's in almost every country in the world, maybe except for Russia now. So, like if business is mutually beneficial to the people, they'll go into business together. So I wanted to go over this article. I already opened it up. So let's go to, they mentioned the usual suspects that we've been hearing about. So SBI, right? SBI took a majority stake or a controlling stake in Bitpoint recently. Like this was maybe a month ago this happened. So it says in this article from 2018, Japan's next economic boom will be Bitcoin and blockchain fueled. And I know Bitcoin's price has been suffering, and this article was written in 2018. So, I'm not saying that this is law or anything like that. I understand that this was almost 4 years ago. But, this is how serious Japan is about all this stuff. And this article mentions SBI, who it says SBI is investing in companies in Japan across East Asia through its $460 million AI and blockchain fund established earlier this year. So I don't want to assume, but Jasmy made a big deal about their Bitpoint listing. Bitpoint is owned, or has SBI has a controlling stake in Bitpoint, excuse me. It would not surprise me if SBI did throw Jasmy some money their way. It would not. And I know at the end of the day, it's just speculation, but the connection is there. And I'm not I'm not making the Sony connection, which some people still think is crazy. Meanwhile, Jasmy's borrowing some of Sony's technology. So, Sony, I expect Sony to at least be on the data platform when it's ready. But anyway, now another usual suspect. So Jesse did a video on and mentioned Centrality, which is a blockchain company in New Zealand. It says Centrality, which closed an $80 million ICO, expects Japan and East Asia to be the core driver of global Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain adoption. Guess what? Even if the US, I know a lot of you are US investors that view my videos based on the YouTube analytics, even if the US doesn't care about crypto, which they already have laws in place to tax us and stuff like that. They wouldn't, if they thought every crypto was going to zero, they wouldn't bother. I really don't think they would bother with it. So there are going to be some coins that go through some pain, right? There's 19,000, just as an aside, there's almost 20,000 projects. Some experts say 80% of them will be gone. Some experts, quote unquote, say 95% of them will be gone. If 80% of them are gone, that's 16,000 projects out of the 20,000 that are just going to be wiped off the face of the earth, because some people are treating this like the Wild West and they are trying to scam people. I don't think Jasmy's going to do that. It reflects poorly on their reputation. If their government is serious about this, they're not doing this to scam people out of money. Can Jasmy fail? Yes, it can fail. Can Jasmy run out of money? Yes, it can happen. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think the next year or so is going to be, a pretty challenging ride? Yes, but I don't think that's just in crypto. I think that's going to be everywhere. But again, that's not financial advice. But anyway, so Centrality is betting on Japan and East Asia. Jasmy said that in their roadmap, that most of their business is going to be done in Asia. And I know they have the office in the US, but I think that's more to build business relationships, not to get personal data locker users. So now in this next paragraph, it says New Zealand-based Centrality's ICO, initial coin offering, was predominantly bought by investors from Japan, where 1/3 of adults have used a cryptocurrency wallet. So this is in 2018. 1/3 of adults have used a cryptocurrency wallet, right? So crypto gained an immense amount of popularity in 2020 and 2021. So I would guess that number did increase. And to be honest with you, I don't know anybody in crypto who just said I'm done with crypto. I think most people stay in it. They might just pick different coins, right? So let's see, is there anything else? I just want to make sure. Okay, so now it says this week it was announced that Centrality had secured a partnership with China tech giant Infinivision and Japan-based Jasmy, founded by the former president of the Sony Corp. That's exciting, right? Jasmy is mentioned. Wow, shocking. And then Infinivision. So the reason why I wanted to go over this article is not for Jasmy. It's actually for Infinivision. So this is how you get into China, right? Centrality signs, this is an article that I found on Medium. So it says Centrality signs partnership with Infinivision. And stakeholders include some of China's leading consumer brands. That's how you do it, right? Jasmy is a company of just other people, other people's stuff. That's what Jasmy is, okay? Just think of it that way. It is like the Marvel, I've never seen these movies and don't criticize me for them, but it seems like the Avengers, right, of Asia. So you're getting, through these connections, you're getting all these superstar companies that are going to get on board. That's what's going to happen. And they might get on board as partners, they might get on board as using the data platform, but one way or another, they will be affected by this company if it gets through the next, I don't know, 12 months, 18 months, and if it survives this recession, right? Um, so it says the partnership made official in a signing ceremony during the Japan Blockchain Conference. I'm guessing Jasmy was there. Will bring consumer-facing blockchain solutions to the Asian market. So now let's skip down a little bit. So it says currently Infinivision are working with McDonald's China, right? Look at that. McDonald's is an American company. It's in China, right? But everybody knows McDonald's is in China. McDonald's is everywhere. Chinese investment company CITIC, and then Chinese department store conglomerate Bailan, and apologies if I butchered that pronunciation. So there was something else. I guess I just want to make sure. I'm just scrolling really quickly. We can move on. So CITIC is one of the largest asset managers in China. So it says here, just looking at this, it says in Hong Kong dollars as of December 31st, 2021, they had total assets of 10,700 billion Hong Kong dollars. I'm rounding up. So that in US dollars, that's how many billion, right? So 1,361 billion is 1.3 trillion US dollars. That's how much they manage. And again, why that matters. Remember this? It says Jasmy will strengthen cooperation with head financial companies to accelerate Jasmy's global layout. And you might be thinking, well, is that just Japan? Well, in the long or the mini paragraph in the graphic, it says Jasmy will join forces with the world's leading financial companies and fintech companies, as well as crypto asset companies that support Jasmy's concept of data democratization to complete Jasmy's global layout of Jasmy IoT platform, secure PC, and personal data locker. Okay, so that's exciting. That's very, very exciting. And now I just wanted to show you another company that was mentioned in that Medium article. One, I think this website is beautiful. And two, this is Baileon Group. So Baileon Group is a conglomerate. If you don't know, is a company that participates in a bunch of industries. So like GE was a big time conglomerate in the, from the 1990s to the 100 years before that. So GE participated in aviation, real estate, consumer electronics, and all these industries that aren't necessarily connected. So Baileon Group is a conglomerate, and some of the things they participate in are commercial investment, department store, and real estate. So I wonder where it is. Okay, so this is the article I wanted to show you. So it says when the personal data cabinet commercial system TissiWit was launched, WITS announced that it would officially join the Jasmy initiative to accelerate the pace of data democratization. So the reason why this specifically matters with Baileon Group is one of the things that TissiWit does, aka WITS. TissiWit has an entry-exit management system. They used it in the spring training event. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see. Oh man, this thing is slow. Oh, here we go. Oh. So just really quickly, so malls, right? So it says in many scenarios such as sporting events, they already did that. Concerts, I think they were doing that. I saw somebody on Reddit post maybe a month ago. Exhibitions, libraries, airports. Airports would be a crazy one. Oh my goodness. Jasmy would make so much money off of that. And then large shopping malls. So Baileon Group does department stores, right? Department stores would be malls. If you can see the pictures here, these are all malls, right? Commercial investment, real estate, right? Like commercial real estate, comprises of malls, right? This is a mall, right? You see Haagen-Dazs, you see an outlet store. So this is this is how you get there, right? Jasmy is going through centrality to get these relationships in China. They're going to find another company where they can do this stuff, right? Or centrality is going through Infinivision, right? So it's like, Jasmy is just a web of participating companies, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's why I do think this thing is going to work. But if you're working on something this big, then you have to understand it is going to take time. And I just wanted to show you this one thing as proof. Let's see. So the article that I showed you from Euroleader mentioned sporting events, right? So the Tissy was used at the Chunichi Dragons baseball field for spring training, right? I'm sure if you've been, invested in Jasmy since February, right, when this came out, when they were doing spring training, then you heard this news. So this is like one of the first big instances that we knew of as investors of the personal data locker being used, right? And now let's go to the next thing. And I have to check my notes really fast to make sure I didn't skip anything. Okay, good. Okay. And then I want to give a shout out to DJ Zippy Crypto, aka on Twitter, aka his username on Reddit is mundanead7217. I've been in conversation with him for a few days, and he came across this. He tweeted this, and he tweeted about how Jasmy has a connection to Apple, and that's good. That's pretty cool. But this is more about China for me. But I will go over some of the stuff. So this is like an AMA, almost like an AMA type thing, or an interview, right? Okay, so it says AMA interview, right? So let's skip to question 1. Okay. So it says, can you tell us about the progress of Jasmy's experiments in Hokkaido, right? So it says in Hokkaido, and this article was created in February 2021. So it says in Hokkaido, a special government department has been established to carry out road testing. There are people who actually ride before the snowy day, which is very convenient. Advertisements can be posted in the car, and in conjunction with the completion of the new baseball stadium in 2023, it is currently progressing smoothly. That's nice. At present, it is advancing with Apple. Yes, that Apple, the one that makes iPhones. And I believe that an agreement will be reached in the near future. Cool. That's exciting. Question 2. So now, what is the compatibility between Secure Guardian, and the current mainstream Windows and Mac computers? So Jasmy technology can basically support Windows and Mac. That's very good. And it has been practically applied through actual testing experiments. That's good. That's also good. I think I wanted to skip a few more questions. Here we go. It says number 7. How to enjoy the benefits of Jasmy in China. What are the development plans for Jasmy in China, right? So it says we take the opportunity of digital currency to join Jasmy's unique technology and make it widely known as the first step. After that, we plan to cooperate with more Chinese enterprises that attach importance to info security, right? In China, we currently plan to cooperate with Xiaomi, Huawei, UnionPay, Alibaba Data, and Amazon. So those are very household names, and we are always trying to seek cooperation with them. I understand, that doesn't mean anything is set in stone, but this is what they're shooting for. And they already have a foothold in China. Not a major foothold, but they already have their foot in the door in China. So if these folks' data, if their like customers' data gets leaked, people are going to be pretty upset. And I understand, I understand the general sentiment with China, but you also got to remember these companies are more liberal than the government, right? Like, you remember what happened to Jack Ma when he spoke out against China, right? He disappeared for a bit because of how he feels about the government, right? So these people do care. I would say, relatively speaking, as far as business is concerned, they do care about their customers and their users, because if you leak their data, they're not going to come back to you. Like, especially if something consequential happens, they're not going to go back to using these services. So, this is good. This is really good. And remember, this was February 2021, so that's almost a year and a half ago, or 16 months ago. So now the next question, I don't know why. No, not that one. Okay, here we go. So it says, 2020 is over. I'm looking at question 9. What are the most satisfying achievements of Jasmy in the past 2020? So Jasmy's Town Moss project in Kita, Hiroshima, Hokkaido was adopted as a national project. So national kind of sounds like it would be like a government thing, which is very exciting, and was also introduced and exhibited at CES in January this year. So CES is humongous, right? CES is Consumer Electronics Show out in Vegas, right? Like, this is where you see all the newest technologies and like prototypes and stuff like that. Some things don't make the market, right? But it's like, this is like the tech geeks like pinnacle. And this was during 2020 when it was probably debuted. If it was in 2019, that's good, because the attendance in 2019 was 182,000. I imagine during a pandemic that there might not be too many people who are doing this digitally, but if they were, good. But I think that's all I wanted to show you there. But this is, they're working hard. I don't think they're like, I don't think they're just twiddling their thumbs. I think, like a lot of, I was thinking about this with like the stock market and stuff, and I've been investing for, I would say 13 years. I was trying to think of what's next for our world, right? In terms of technology, where, there's always something, right? Like semiconductor chips were pretty dominant. The last go around, or smartphone technology was dominant around the same time. Internet companies were dominant before that, and are still dominant, but it's almost like they've become dinosaurs, right? Because their business model isn't that like for Amazon, right? It's not like they're coming out and doing something incredibly bold anymore, right? But when they were the retail giant of the internet, like that was amazing. But I'm trying to figure out what's next, and I still do think it's crypto and blockchain. It's just, we got to filter out the garbage companies, and I think I might have mentioned this. The experts are saying that 80 to 95% of crypto companies could be wiped out, right? So if there's 20,000 projects, according to CoinMarketCap, 95% would be 19,000 projects gone. So that means the best 1,000 projects, roughly speaking, would survive. And do I think Jasmy would be in the best 1,000? Yes. So that's why I think they're going to survive. Is the next year and a half going to be painful? Also, yes. Unfortunately, I do think so. But, it's going to be, I think it's going to be all right. And, I don't want to pull up articles on this, but I did want to say this last thing. I will be buying the dip. That's not financial advice. But I understand, Bitcoin is getting its butt kicked right now. Ethereum is getting hit really hard. Thankfully, Jasmy should be moving off of Ethereum's blockchain. I hope that happens soon, if it didn't happen already. But, just some things, right? Like, about crypto, if you really think it's going to go to zero, like, you have... I work in finance. I work at a company that's pretty similar to like Fidelity, Charles Schwab. They are working with Citadel on a crypto platform. Fidelity and Schwab are like old finance companies that don't really innovate. No offense if you do work there, but it's the truth. And if they're willing to build a crypto platform, that's nuts to me, right? Then you got Congress people are buying Bitcoin. There are a lot of countries adopting Bitcoin. Deloitte and Accenture are expecting, I think, something like 60 to 80% in the next few years to accept crypto payment, like 60 to 80% of businesses to accept crypto payments. Europe is beefing up regulation. American Express is introducing a crypto rewards card. So I know they can easily just shut these things down, but you got to ask yourself, like, yeah, it's an ugly time in the market, but crypto's not going to go away. The bad companies will go away. And also, I can't imagine there's a need for so many blockchains, but the companies that are, thieves like the Celsius of the world, or what's still called Luna, right? Those companies, they have no place here, right? Some things are built on a house of lies. I know that Jasmy doesn't communicate as well as they should. English also isn't their first language. And you can say, yeah, they can go hire somebody else, but they're working on building the business. I still do have faith in them. I will be, when the time comes, I will be buying the dip. I just got to make sure, I have to move across the country, so I just got to make sure my house is in order. But I just want to make sure that I went over everything that I need to go over. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Some of you have actually taken me up on that, which I really appreciate, and some of you have made me rethink certain things that I overlooked in my initial research. And